Hey everybody, welcome back to the WahooWarrior channel. I'm kind of been working on several things. I'm making a Saga army back here, and then I'm also putting together the Bugeater GT Airborne Reinforced Platoon. And I just wanted to kind of stop and go over what I'm doing and kind of along that series of like how to make a pretty cost-efficient force for a 1,000 point tournament. The taking veteran of any troop selection actually saves you quite a bit of having to build models, because your points kind of get eaten up pretty quickly. This is basically, I built this out of one U.S. Rangers box set and then an extra sprue of U.S. Infantry, about 5 or maybe a sprue and a half or 8 guys. That's only because I didn't want to use any of the laying down models. There were 5 more in the Rangers set that I could have made guys laying down. I didn't really want the laying down guys. I want everybody to be kind of standing up. So I just used some bodies out of a U.S. Airborne kit box set, and I used some of the Airborne heads in their gear to just kind of put on so they all kind of match. But so basically a U.S. Rangers box set, I think it makes 25 or 28 models, and then you add in about 5 or 6, and then I bought some sprues of the leadership sprue, and then I bought the bazooka. So, and I got a medium machine gun sprue, which I probably could have made that myself, because that light machine gun is pretty aggressive looking, and if you would put it on a 3x, or like a template for 3, I'm sure I could have made that a medium machine gun. It's actually, this light machine gun in the new set, it looks bigger than that medium machine gun blister pack. So I easily could have just made one with a thing out of the existing models, out of the Rangers, but I had ordered that. I actually ordered 2, but it looks like I'm just going to use 1. So, and then I did a conversion out of some infantry models, and I made my own little recoilless rifle. So the price for this, you know, you're looking at $60 or $70 to have a 1,000 point army. I'm also adding in a airplane for an Air Force forward observer, so I'm going to actually have the model. But when you're first starting off, you don't need that. It's just for the coolness factor. It's going to look really sharp when I do this display board. Look, I'm trying to make it look like an airplane's flying over the top of it. But you don't need that when you're just starting off. You can just use a chip or a counter to put on the ground to mark the location where the airplane is. But so I decided to, when I first was going to make, I wanted to see how many models I would need. I went ahead and made some sample army lists, and I came up with the one that I kind of like. And I'm taking a veteran second lieutenant with an extra guy. I'm taking a 10-man veteran paratrooper squad. So I'm going to have one 10-man squad, and that has 5 submachine guns in it, 4, and then an NCO with a submachine gun. The veteran paratroopers, they're on the new card that came with the Airborne. Gives you them. It's also an easy army, but they're stubborn, so that's pretty sweet. And then I took another 10-man veteran paratrooper squad, but they don't have anything but rifles. So those would be my go after them guys. I have an Air Force forward observer. I took him at regular. I know some people do their veteran airborne, they take everything veteran. I have some mixes of some regular stuff in there. And yes, to say points, but also the theme I'm kind of looking to go with is just after a drop. And just after a drop, you're going to get intermingled squads. You're going to get people who are a little bit lost, trying to find their friends, trying to find their platoons and their squads, and they end up just getting morphed into another squad. So I don't have any problem taking a few regular items, especially on the support items, as far as like the medium machine gun and a mortar. But I have another veteran paratrooper squad, so they're stubborn, and they're only 6 guys. And the 6-man squad, I'm taking a light machine gun and a bar. So and then I have another one of those squads. Let's see. No, I have just one of those squads. It looks like. Yeah, I was playing around with it a little bit. It looks like it's just one 6-man squad. I have to check to see if that's correct. Because I had it with 2 light machine guns and 1 bar, and then I know I split that a little bit. And this is actually one of my trial lists, but so I may not have. Yeah, I know that I have 2 6-man squads, each with a light machine gun. I split the light machine guns. Instead of having 1 fire base, I wanted kind of 2 little fire bases, and then have the larger squads to be able to move up and try to, get in good positions. And then I have the 6-man squad. Since they're stubborn, the odds of them just dying due to a failed morale check is a lot lower. And then I have a 12-man regular glider squad. So the glider squad's going to be regulars. They're modeled up like paratroopers. I put little dots on the bottom because I'm going to paint their uniforms a little bit different in that, so they look a little bit, probably a little bit different. I'm going to probably do their pants a different color so they can look different from the veterans, so there's no confusion on the tabletop. And the regulars, it's a 12-man squad with anti-tank grenades. I like the idea. See, the regular, it's as if maybe the gliders came in and they crashed. If you want to explain why you're taking a regular squad, it is available. It's a glider squad, so it's it's part of the Airborne. And these guys basically, just went through a crash landing. They're a little bit discombobulated. I am giving them anti-tank grenades. So it's going to be a 12-man squad with anti-tank grenades. So that's a full-strength squad. So as long as I stay full strength, I get to retest order checks. I just like to have a full-size squad for things where you got to make sure, like if they're coming in from reserve, you get to re-roll that check and whatnot if it's very important. And it gives me a little bit of anti-tank. With 12 dice throwing, you got a chance to knock out some vehicles. I have a regular medium machine gun team, and then I have a regular mortar team. I haven't modeled up the mortar team yet. Mortars, after Adepticon and even Operation Sting, they're so versatile. A medium mortar is just, you don't leave home without it, because if somebody has a fixed piece of artillery, you can start zeroing in on that. And then I have a veteran bazooka team back here, so a veteran bazooka team. And then I took I decided to model it up. It's the 75mm M20 recoilless rifle, which is basically it's in the artillery section, but it's a HE 2-inch template. It's like a howitzer, 3-man crew. It's fixed. It's cheaper than a howitzer. I don't know if the rules really explain exactly what it's supposed to do. I personally, since it's cheaper than a normal medium howitzer or a light howitzer at veteran, I'm planning to not fire it indirect. I have talked to some Army guys, John, and he pointed out that the recoilless rifle was not made for indirect fire. I wish that the rules were that it could move. It wasn't fixed. That way it could run alongside like the machine guns and things like that, infantry based. I think that's what they were made for. But they're much more portable than, say, an artillery piece. But the rule is still fixed, which is fine. I'm just going to personally not fire it indirect. It's made for, like, if there's a building or something, set this sucker up and just blast 2-inch template into it. The rules as it stands, it could fire indirect because it counts as a HE, counts as a howitzer, but I'm not going to do that. But I did take it at veteran, so it's a pretty sweet little thing that'll give me a little extra punch. So that's pretty much my army. I don't have any tanks, I don't have any armored cars, I don't have any jeeps. It's just straight infantry, which can be a little bit challenging if you are trying to capture objectives and stuff. But what's nice about the Americans is they can move and fire without a -1 penalty. I'm going to have 2 light machine guns in there. I'm going to have that HE. I'm going to have a bazooka. And I have a medium machine gun team as well. So I've got plenty of reach out and touch you firepower. And I'm hoping to maneuver my squads and not take the -1 and move those bigger squads into combat. and be able to knock some people out. Most of my stuff is veterans. The one that's not, as far as a squad, is a 12-man squad. So very cheap army to build. Nice special rules. I'm still sticking to a, you don't airdrop tanks in, although people play paratroopers and they meet up like an Operation Market Garden. This is supposed to be, for me, mentally, just post-drop. They dropped in and they've just got their squads and they've matched up together, and they've got a few support things that maybe came in on the gliders, like the 12-man squad, a medium machine gun team, and an HE recoilless rifle. But other than that, they're kind of on their own. They do have an airplane lurking around. The American Special Rule for the Air Observer will provide some air cover for turns 3 and 4 where I really need it. I'm planning to just use it as a deterrent unless I absolutely have to do something with it. And I gave him an extra man just to make him a squad for scenarios that get units into objective locations or sides of the board. Give him a little bit ability to kind of still be an effective unit. So yeah, that's my airborne list. I've got a lot of work to do on it. I'm making some progress. I got all these guys, most of their base coat, the browns and the greens and the flesh color, and so they went pretty quickly. I got to do some other strapping and webbing and some dry brushing and then some washing, and it should be pretty fast. Say within a week I will have the majority of my stuff done. So alright, thanks for watching, guys.